I'm delighted to say James McPake is with us. James, you are best placed to assess all the teams in the quarterfinals of the Scottish Cup. It's going to be a fantastic weekend, and it all kicks off with Hearts against St Mirren. If I'm going to pin you down to who wins it and why?
Hearts win that game for me. Full house at Tynecastle. The Scottish Cup is massive to both Edinburgh clubs. Having played, and there's certainly one I don't want to talk about, but having played for Hibs and seeing how much that cup means to them and Hearts, I think Hearts will win that game on the back of a fantastic atmosphere, and I just believe that at the minute they're a better team than St Mirren. Now, that could change with the new manager getting in, and if Goody was there, would I be saying different? I don't know. I know they have beaten them this season, but no, for me, Hearts will win that game.
The next game I'm going to ask you about is possibly the toughest to call, because everybody always can opt for Rangers or Celtic to win theirs, but Motherwell against Hibs, you've got a Graham Alexander in there trying to put his real strong print on that side, and then you've got Shaun Maloney who's transforming the mindset at Hibernian. It's at Fir Park. Which way's your money going?
Well, my heart's going to rule my head again, and I'm going to go Hibs for that. They'll have a massive away crowd. As I say, I played in some fantastic cup ties for Hibs. One in particular at Kilmarnock in the quarter-final, where it's the only time my wife's ever said she's been scared at a football game. The away stand was bouncing. Lee Griffiths scored a hat-trick that day, and I think we won the game 4-2 or whatever it may have been. But that away end will be full, because again it's the Scottish Cup. But fair play to Graham Alexander for what he's done, and in the way he's got that team playing. They're very dynamic, they're big, they're strong. What I will say is we managed to put them out of the League Cup. We turned them over 3-0 at Dens. We never managed to do that to Hibs, so I'll say Hibs will win that one. Just on that, Sean's come in, and I'll say that I think we've got to give him time, and I hope he does get the time, because I like what he's trying to do, and we can be too, as fans as well, we can judge people too quickly. He's a young manager, it's his first job. Give him the time, give him to the summer to bring in his own people. Fans want instant success. I thought Jack done a great job in at Hibs, I must say that as well. But give him the time. If you're going to invest in a young manager, bring him in, give him the time to do it. And the pitch at Fir Park's good, so it will suit the way Hibs are going to go and play, and he'll not change. That's what he's going to do. The big thing will depend if Paul Hanlon's fit. I think he's a massive loss to the team if they get him fit. Nisbet being out obviously is a blow as well, but no, I'm going for Hibs in that.
Okay, so we've got the two.
I'm probably going to be wrong with the two of them. But
well, listen, I mean, this is the great thing about us getting an opinion out of you. What about Dundee against Rangers? You know the Dundee team inside out, and they're against the Rangers side desperately looking at it and thinking, okay, there's a double up for grabs here.
Yeah, and this is one that a really interesting game. They come up, and I don't think it was under Steven Gerrard. They didn't enjoy it that day. As I alluded to earlier, we should have taken something from that game. There'll be a massive away support, and hopefully there's a big Dundee crowd there cheering the Dundee boys on. They obviously had their COVID issues, and that was well documented at the weekend. I've not spoke to anyone, so I don't know who's going to be back, but if Dundee can get the shape right and be resolute and hard to break down and stay in the game, then they've got players in that team like Charlie, like Paul McMullen, who that day he got the penalty that day that Jason sadly missed. But Dundee have got players in the team that can hurt MD, and it seems to be when the big games come around, that's when he comes to the fore. And I'm hoping I'm hoping for that group of players and for the football club, the fans in general, that they get a chance to go to Hampden.
Yep. Okay, so suddenly we find ourselves on Monday at Tannadice, Dundee United against Celtic.
They'll all be hammering me for saying that. No, look, to be fair, Celtic have struggled up there as well, and Rangers have struggled up there. So What I will say, I know how good a coach Liam Fox is, and Liam does a lot of the work. Tam's done great since he's went in. You just need to look where they are in the league and what they've done. It'll not be an easy game for Celtic, but I just think I keep going back to it, and people say all he's talking about is away support and this and that, but I think when it comes to the Scottish Cup, now you're talking about a double. There's a treble sitting here for Celtic. If they've won the League Cup. Ange wants to win every game he plays. He wants to win it, and that's the one thing I will say. If you're watching the game another week against Rangers, he'll not be able to play that slick football that they can play at Celtic Park, or when they went to Livingston on Sunday there, that they can get the ball down and play. And if I was Dundee United's manager, I would be having the grass as long as I could to allow them, or to stop them from doing that. And if it wasn't raining, I'd have it as dry as I could as well to stop that. But no, I think Celtic will have enough to go up there and win that game. Liam's a really close friend of mine, but obviously I'm not going to sit here and say I want Dundee United to beat Celtic, because I want Dundee's my team up there. But I think Celtic will have enough, and looking at them and seeing the way they did play the other day, I think they're getting back to hitting that form where they're looking really good again, and they're peaking at the right time in my opinion. And you just had to look at Rangers and Dortmund, so you can't argue that they're not peaking at the right time either. So it's great for Scottish football. It's great for the Scottish Cup, because if you can look at it that way, if we could get both Edinburgh teams through, hopefully not both Glasgow teams, I'm hoping it's Dundee, but if it isn't and we get both Glasgow teams through, then it's great for Scottish football.
So with that in mind, you're going for the Jambos,
Yep.
the Hibbies, Dundee.
Hopefully Dundee.
And Celtic.
Yes.
James, it's been an absolute joy speaking to you.
Thank you.